Apologies for the lateness. I don't know what happened. My internet decided to just cut off 2 minutes before starting. Had to run downstairs and reset the router, that old trickarooty. But I'm here now. I've arrived and I am excited because it is the Friday live stream with 3C Films. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I am so excited to talk so much glorious movie news here with y'all. And I also added a soundbite to go with one of the movie news stories. It's going to be fun. In fact, let's round off some of the things we're going to talk about while I let you guys hear. Tell me how amazing I am. Thank you. So nice to see you guys. 3C, what's up, Pappy? What's up? What's up? Oh, the big 3C is here. Oh, I hope you just mean large in personality. All right, I hope that's how we mean that, yo. Some of the things we're gonna be talking about here today, guys. We got a couple little interesting news stories to discuss. Scary Movie 6. We now know when the trailer's coming out for that, and I teased online, and I thought I'd talk about it with you guys a bit. I got sent some behind-the-scene photos for Scary Movie 6. I don't know what I'll do because I'm impulsive, okay? I don't think I'll show you the photos, but I will happily describe them to you, and we can speculate together about some of the things Ghostface is going to be doing in this movie. James Gunn has given us some updates on the DCU. I thought we'd take a look at them and see what the Gunn is up to lately. Sony has announced a new Venom movie, animated. Is it going to be rated R, like previously reported? We're going to take a look at that. There was this wild Steve Rogers theory that I don't know if it's a theory or is actually true, but I just wanted to talk about it involving Avengers Doomsday, and it's kind of blowing my mind because he might have been in the Fantastic Four post-credit scene, and we never noticed. Oh my goodness. And those were kind of just the topics I have here today. Someone just said, ew, James, what do you do? What do he do to you? I'd like to think James came in your house and ate your cereal. Oh, I hate that James Gunn. Hey, come on now. We're just going to talk about some of the movie news. Oh, that's one of the stories I forgot to add on. I was like, there's something I'm forgetting, and it just kept itching in the back of my head, and now I just remembered. We'll add it here at the top of the story because it's not that large, but it's still something I want to talk about. Chucky update, because we actually do have some compelling Chucky updates. All right, there we go. I was like, there is something I'm forgetting. That's what it was, a Chucky update. So let's start off with my good old boy. I can't believe I don't have any Chucky sound bites. We'll get there eventually. All right, let's kick things off here. Let's see. Chucky. All right, as you guys know, we had the Chucky TV series that aired and happened. It was done for. I'm gonna here take some people just be spamming on all that. All right, and look, I think season 1 was pretty good. I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was an interesting direction. Definitely had some horrifying vibes. A good little ending to it of what Chucky's goal was the whole time. Season 2, it started to kind of let me down, and then season 3, admittedly, it got very ridiculous, but I was still enjoying some of the things they were doing with Chucky, like with him losing the ability to talk to Damballa and him becoming an old man, withering and dying. Terrible cliffhanger it ended on, man. If you still remember the cliffhanger for the end of season 3, you're like, what are we doing? Even the cliffhanger for season 2, Chucky and Drag, just, yeah, I was Tiffany. I'm like, what are we doing? Anyways, they did not get renewed for a season 4, and instead we had always heard that there was going to be an upcoming Chucky movie. John Mancini has already talked about it in interviews and said that it's happening. And just recently, Jennifer Tilly was doing an interview and doubled down on this here. So let me see here. She said here, let me see if I can find the exact quote. Because Jennifer Tilly, Chucky movie, Chucky. And then we have some other things involved that I'm like, it might be happening sooner than we think. All right, here he says, Jennifer Tilly teases more Chucky and Tiffany in the works. When talking to E.T., they said the television series just ended, but I know for a fact, there is more Chucky and Tiffany in the works. The Gruesome Twosome. I like that name for them. The Gruesome Two. Got room for one more? Hey, as long as we don't lock eyes, Chucky. Come on now. Who didn't see Bride of Chucky and didn't want to smash? I mean, come on now. Raise your hands. Let's loud and proud put them up there. Yeah, yeah. Don't be ashamed of it. It's okay, my friends. We were all there once. We're still there once. Um okay. It is nice to know that this is still happening cuz I think it's been almost 2 years now. How long? Like just a year? When did season 3 end? When did Chucky season 3 end? It feels like a long time now. What it ended, wow, 2024. So we're going on 2 years. 2 years that this finally concluded and ended. And since then, we had heard that they were wanting to continue it. But man, there was just like nothing going on. Don said that he had a movie idea. And my theory was Megan 2.0 bombing at the box office is like Universal going, all right, we're kind of going to cool it with the killer doll stuff since Megan isn't making the money we want. We don't want to risk on Chucky, which I just think is so weird because like Chucky is the killer doll. It's been long overdue that he needs to come back on the big screen, either in some sort of reboot sequel, Halloween 2018 style, or just some new movie that maybe isn't too dependent on the lore. Because I know that's kind of the blasphemous thing to say. Because as much as I love Don Mancini and everything that he's done, and how much of an achievement it is to have the first movie all the way back from the 80s up until now, 3 seasons of TV, and everything is still in continuity with one another, it's awesome. But also, I think it's really weighed down the franchise. I think now it has put itself in such a box that there is not much room for where Chucky could go and what he can do. Then again, Don is creative. And while I'm okay with maybe a story direction, because admittedly, he does come up with fun ideas of where to place Chucky, I need someone back. Like, what was the director's name? Was it Ang Lee? What was his name? See, Bride of Chucky director. I used to be kind of harsh on Bride of Chucky. I used to like not be all that into Bride of Chucky because Ronnie Yu. He is such style and flair. Ronnie Yu. I used to be so harsh on it because to me I saw Bride of Chucky as the beginning of Chucky going full comedy and less horror. But now when I rewatch Bride of Chucky, dude, I yearn for these days because it was so stylistic. It had so much flavor. It had so much personality oozing off the screen. And I'm sorry, but Chucky nowadays, he's filmed on the same cameras they use to film commercials. Like there's just no personality on the camera. And I miss the days of like Child's Play 2 where there was such a style to these movies. Don can be involved, but let's hand the director chair to somebody else. Okay. I know that's messed up to say, but I really do think that's what we need. Now, as I was saying though, something came a brewing online that it's like, oh, things might be moving faster than we thought because we had Fiona Dourif, as you guys know. She recently one of the better members involved with the franchise. She just came out and had to cancel her appearance, not just her appearance, her father's appearance. She said here, I'm sorry to say we must pull out of Days of the Dead, Atlanta. I was looking forward to hanging out with both my dad and you guys. This is not a decision I take lightly, and my sincere apologies to anyone who bought tickets. I got a job, and I can't turn down. They never give notice. It's one thing if Fiona Dourif had to like leave because she is on the pit, I believe, and she's probably got other projects going on. But to have both Fiona and Brad Dourif cancel because of a sudden job thing that came up that didn't give them notice that they're probably under contract for, I'm thinking that's the Chuckster. I'm thinking that's that killer doll, and they might have been moving forward with getting things done here. So this could be it. Again, it could be nothing. I'm sure there's plenty of projects where Fiona and her father are working on together, but this to me feels like, all right, the Chucky project might secretly start getting worked on right now. My only question again is, where does this come out? How is this come out? How is it presented? Is this still going to stick to like kind of concluding the cliffhanger at the end of season 3? Are they bringing back those characters? Are we going back to Fiona as a main character? Because I think that's another dumb decision they made. They set up something so great with Fiona's character, with Fiona Dorff, and then the TV series they sidelined her. Even though every time her character became a main player, it was so much better. And I'm still so mad they amputated her. But it's like, okay, are they going that route of directly addressing the cliffhanger and keeping the story going from there? Because then to me, that sounds like a TV movie. That sounds like what Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky has been. Movies that end up straight to DVD, but nowadays straight to streaming. So it'll be a Chucky film for Peacock. I don't want to see Chucky on the cock, okay? I want to see him on the big silver screen, have a big marketing push, and Chucky be like one of these big guys now in theaters. Because I'm telling you, you do it right, and you know me. I like the 2019 Child's Play movie, but that movie was unfortunately not marketed well. It was a totally different Chucky. That's why it didn't end up. And they released it the same weekend as Toy Story 4. I don't know what they were thinking there. Of course it bombed. So with this, I need to know, you're planning theater, you're planning a side story. What are we doing here? I want it all, okay? I still want this to happen because I never want Chucky to be dead, and he always comes back. Don't you? Springtrap said it, but no, Chucky said it first. I always come back. Terrible Chucky impression, but still. So you guys let me know. You see Fiona, Jennifer Tilly literally said, I know for a fact Chucky and Tiffany are back. We're just waiting for that to happen. And now we see Fiona Dorff and Brad Dorff both canceled appearances for a job that they all of a sudden have to go to. Is it Chucky? Is it Chucky? You guys let me know. As long as also what you want to see from the franchise. You want a continuous story? You want a separate story? Love to hear it all. Someone just said Springtrap did it better though. Yeah, that's why I say to you. He did say it cool. But also, come on. In the context of Matthew Lillard's Springtrap, it made no sense. This was the first time we saw him. We never saw him die or run away or go into hiding. How is the first time we see the man is also, I always come back? This is the first time we see you, Mr. Afton. Oh, I'm spamming the fa today. All right, let's move on to talk about Scary Movie 6. Okay, this is going to be a fun one with you guys. So, Scary Movie 6. I think a lot of us are highly anticipating this movie. I know I am. It's basically becoming the No Way Home of parody movies for me. They are bringing back the gang and new faces. We already talked about recently. We know that they're making fun of the scene from Terrifier 3, the Mall Santa scene. We're still waiting to see what other movies they'll make fun of. And, well, now we know when the trailer is actually going to come out. Thanks to Marlon Wayans, who was actually doing a bunch of interviews, he let us know that the Scary Movie 6 trailer will debut in theaters ahead of Scream 7. Okay, I think this is honestly a really smart choice. It makes sense to me. It works. Two reasons. One, both movies are Paramount films, so they work hand in hand. Paramount is, of course, going to market it in front of their other movie, but mainly because Scary Movie 6 is bringing back parody Ghostface. This version of Ghostface is coming back, and he looks like he's the main killer of the movie, and then everything else surrounding him will be what they make fun of from other horror movies. So it's, I think, just smart to, like, people who are fans of Ghostface, like Scream, are watching the latest Scream movie, and then they go, oh, they're also bringing that back, honey. We got to see that. That looks funny. That trailer better be funny, and it's going to be an Easter egg trove that I'm going to dive into. Hopefully, it also releases online the same day, because it would be a bummer that if it's only in theaters exclusive, then we're only going to get grainy shots, and that's going to make me trying to do my Easter egg video so hard. So I think that works. I think that's really smart. I can't wait. Now, okay. This next part, you're going to have to bear with me, but it's either I tell you something or I tell you nothing. You take it or leave it. I had a fan who reached out to me and claimed, oh, I worked on Scary Movie 6. And I get messages like this from time to time. I've been burnt before on scoops and stuff, so I try to vet people and I try to see what's actually real and what time some people are pulling my leg. Let us not bring up the Venom 3 scoop that was totally false. That completely ruined my scooping career. But they had really great proof in the form of behind the scene photos that are not AI generated, that are real. And I took a gander at them, and man, is this movie going to be a lot of fun. So while I want to be nice to my source and not get them fired or in trouble because they were on set, and it'd be pretty easy to tell who took the photos and who let them out, I do at least want to describe them to you, to tell you what to expect from this movie, and maybe that'll make it fun for you. So, all right, a couple of things with this. So, one thing with it is, yes, they are bringing back this same goofy mask. Oh, what the heck? That scary movie ghost face mask, but it looks like it's made of foam. It's a lot more still. It's not like this one looked like latexy melted. I'm trying to find it here. It's the same mold is basically what I'm saying. It's the same mold, a little bit more clean cut, but it essentially the same mold. And yes, this guy is the killer again. Now, one thing about this Ghostface, he's gonna be going through a lot of costume changes. That's why I was like, this guy is gonna be so fun in the movie. He has a lot of costume changes. I'm gonna describe a couple of them to you. One costume that this Ghostface is gonna have is he's gonna pull a Freddy Krueger from. Oh, is he? Freddy Krueger, where it looks like he's gonna have a hospital outfit. I'm trying to find the Freddy Krueger, like basically like what Freddy did. Like I'm not saying they're parodying Freddy, but just like Freddy, we're gonna see Ghostface in a full-on scrub suit, wearing a mask. So it looks like there's some sort of hospital scene. One thing I want to mention with these photos, so you guys can get a mindset of, in this same interview where Marlon Wayans was open and honest about when the trailer was coming out, I watched the interview on the radio, and the interviewer asked him, it's like, so how many movies are you going to make fun of, man? You're going to talk about this, you're going to talk about that. And what he really wanted to distinguish between his parody movie and what other parody movies have done is he wants whatever he makes fun of to fit naturally into the story, organically, as he said. So he doesn't just want to put like a list of all the most popular horror movies and go, all right, make fun of this, make fun of that, make fun of this, make fun of that. He says if he can find a way to naturally make fun of it in the story, then he'll do it. So definitely looks like there's a point in the film where they end up in the hospital. I'm being told that Scary Movie is basically following the main skeleton structure of Scream 5. And if you remember in Scream 5, there's a whole hospital sequence. There's a whole scene of Ghostface chasing the characters in the hospital. So I think that makes sense to me then why we will see Ghostface dressed like a staff person, right? So again, we'll see how that turns out. But he's going to be dressed up in scrubs. Okay, this one is going to make some people mad, but I can't wait to see how they handle it. One photo, he is wearing a crossing guard outfit. So Ghostface... I'm looking it up like the photos online. Sorry, crossing guard. One of those highlighted vests. Crossing guard. So one of these outfits, with the yellow vest, except my boy's wearing a red hat. I don't know if you've been living under a rock or where you've been the past couple of years, but when red hats show up in media, they really only mean one thing. They're really only addressing one thing. So I wonder then if they're going to commentate a little bit on that. Maybe it's just a coincidence or something like that. But it definitely feels like there's going to be, Ghostface will be making fun of some MAGA, maybe. Maybe we'll have some Ghostface parodying MAGA a little bit. Again, I don't mind that. I'm not too crazy about it. Again, because you guys know I don't care about Mr. D. Trump. I don't care about all that. But I do care when the movie tries to get too political because, again, I go to watch my movies to escape and not be reminded of the things, horrors going outside the theater. So I don't mind a small joke and jab to either side, but I just hope it's not too fixated, too focused because, again, that's one of the reasons I like South Park and some of their most recent seasons. I was like, it was funny at first, but it's just like every episode is making fun of Trump. I'm like, I want to see you make fun of other stuff, So we'll see how that goes, but that is one of the costumes. Crossing guard with a red hat makes me think that they're going to be doing that. I did get a photo of Art the Clown in the specific scene that they will be using to make fun of. I've talked about this again. They have already confirmed it, so this isn't even a spoiler. They've come out and said it. They will be making fun of Art the Clown in the movie, and specifically the mall scene where Art the Clown is dressed like Santa. In fact, in the photo I have, that exact Santa sign is in the background and all that. And one thing I was telling you guys, I was like hoping just the way they have like a goofy looking ghost face, his face is all like silly looking. I couldn't wait to see how they silly or make a goofy look for Art the Clown. He looks exactly the same. He looks pretty much the same, except whoever's wearing the makeup isn't David Howard Thornton, so his face structure looks slightly different. But all the makeup is exactly the same, from the black lipstick to the nose, the eyes. It's all the same. Even the outfit is exactly the same. The Santa outfit, the bloody thing. So I'm thinking again, fits organically into the story. Maybe Cindy and I forget Brenda. Cindy and Brenda have to go to the mall for some reason, and then they see that like the mall Santa's Art the Clown. Like maybe that's how it fits organically into the story. But either way, I'm glad they're making fun of Art the Clown. And I can't wait to see how that goes. Another photo that I got, this one was pretty recent, is a ghost face next to a payphone. So I'm thinking this one could be anything. It could be them parodying Black Phone 2, or the Black Phone just in general. I'm trying to think of any other horror movies that have that, but it could just be a random payphone scene, a moment that they have in the film. I think Black Phone is definitely something they probably want to make fun of and have throughout there. But yeah, the photo I have is Ghostface just next to the payphone and holding the phone up, and that's the only thing I could think of is Black Phone, because we saw that a couple of times in the movie. Now, I didn't get a photo of this, but I was told about it, and since they have legitimate photos, I believe them. All right, you guys remember in Scary Movie, this is one of my favorite scenes. Scary Movie made fun of the Matrix. That was a great scene where Sydney is fighting Ghostface, and she's literally just pulling moves from the Matrix, all slow-mo, and Ghostface even like throws out his back, dodging stuff. Great moment. Isn't even making fun of a horror movie, but it's such a memorable, nice moment, and it does parody at least one of the popular movies at the time. Well, it looks like there is another popular action movie starring Keanu Reeves that they will be making fun of in Scary Movie 6. I'm gonna let the chat take a second to see if they can guess. It's pretty obvious, but they again are gonna have an action scene of a famous Keanu Reeves movie, more modern, not Matrix, that they will be making fun of as part of this. There we go. First one in. Devilly Man, you got it. I'm hearing there's going to be a John Wick Ghostface in this. I don't know if that means Ghostface just acts like John Wick and he's like doing, the gun fu stuff, or he actually maybe has like a Keanu Reeves like tuxedo and like the hair wig or something. They didn't give me that information, but they just said there will be a John Wick Ghostface in the movie. So it looks like they'll be parodying Ghostface. And that did seem odd to me at first, because I was like, John Wick? I'm like, that's not a horror movie, but it is one of the most popular action films. And in the first movie, they made fun of The Matrix. That was a Keanu Reeves action movie. I'm like, okay, I feel like that is a way maybe to tie it back and have it all connect. So I'm kind of curious what that will look like. Again, though, that is all the information I have. Again, guys, I'm sorry that I'm not showing you the photos. Usually I would if I like found them online, but that's someone that was a fan and trusted me. I don't want to get them in trouble, but I still wanted to be able to tell you guys about it. The only other thing that I saw going around in relation to this is Marlon in that same interview was saying what his plans would be for the next couple parody movies, where he said here, Marlon Wayans says White Chicks 2 and Don't Be a Menace 2 will happen if Scary Movie 6 is successful. We gonna bring back some hits. I don't mind it. I definitely think White Chicks is a lot harder to do nowadays. Y'all, maybe I shouldn't even say this, but I'm like, just because people are so sensitive about stuff nowadays, and even the other side will be like, oh, we can't do blackface, but y'all can do whiteface? How's that fair? Ugh! I hate everybody now. But I would still love to see them try to do White Chicks and how they could at least cross that line. Don't Be a Menace 2, I don't know how that one would work today, because when Don't Be a Menace came out, there was a prolific amount of these Boys in the Hood, Juice, these kind of, movies about living in the hood. I don't think can you name any recent hood kind of movie or thing that there would be enough material to do a sequel? I love that first movie. It's hilarious. That scene where he's like, I'm here to pick up my son. I'll be back to pick him up next week. I love that scene. Such a good scene. But NWA, yeah, but that was more a biopic, and that was about character, and those were about real life people from that specific era. I don't know if there's enough. I know Snowfall, but that's a show. So I don't know. I don't think there is enough. So I'd be curious to see it. I'm not against it. I'd still be down. Maybe like Ryan Coogler movies. I saw some people say so they could do like Ryan Coogler and Jordan Peele stuff. But that does fall a little bit into horror. I don't know. I'm not against it. I'd still be down if it's funny. Okay. Same with White Chicks, but you guys let me know. It's just fun to see parody movies coming back, and I do think Scream 6 is going to be a success. That's going to be just like the Final Destination Bloodlines, where people have missed this franchise. Some people grew up with it, and they just want to be laughing again. But it also depends how good that first trailer is, man. If that first trailer is not funny, and it just feels like they're trying too hard, and the magic isn't there, I think that will hurt it. But you guys let me know. You guys let me know. All right. Let's move on here. All right, James Gunn. James Gunn was recently answering some questions online because a lot of people have been seeing some rumors about the DCU, and so he decided to do them. So I got to get this one out of the way because I thought this one was hilarious. Does Superman believe in Santa in the DCU? James Gunn. No, he's an adult. Huh, okay. And believe it or not, this one got some controversy. This one got some people talking. If you don't know why, there is an episode where in like the animated Justice League show where Superman legit believes in Santa. Yeah, like this scene here where like they're talking about, oh, we used to wrap his presents in lead foil so he couldn't peek. You mean Santa wrapped them? You know what? Maybe it's silly and maybe it's dumb. And yes, I know Santa is a canon character in DC Comics, but let's just for 1 second believe it's like in our world where Santa is a made up figure and, only kids believe him. I think there's something whimsical about grown Superman, hopeful Superman that's like, well, Santa's not real. Why wouldn't he think he's real? He's literally an alien with superpowers beyond belief, can do extraordinary things. That is his norm. I don't think it's crazy if someday he found out there's someone else as fast as me, gives presents to everybody. Whoa. I want to meet that guy. Again, not a big deal, but I don't think it's that silly for Superman to still believe in Santa. If anything, I feel like it falls in with his character. And I mean, that punk rock conversation in James Gunn's Superman, where he's like, well, maybe that's the real punk rock. Like, that gives me the vibes of a guy who still believes in Santa, respectfully. But whatever. Someone just said, wait, Santa, oh, what have I done? I'm sorry, little one. Can you imagine that kid? That's actually someone who just found out. They're like, what? I just ruined someone's Christmas this year. I just made at least 30 people statistically into men right now. Okay. Let's go into some of the other things, though, he was actually talking about with the movie. So one of the things that quickly got a lot of people talking is there was an article with Variety, and they're talking about, like, what DC has working. Because there's still a lot of talk right now with DC Studios because, as you guys know in the news, Warner Brothers is currently going through a sellout where they're going to either get bought by Netflix. Paramount's still interested. I think it'll end up being with Netflix. And again, in the last 10, 15 years, insane how many times Warner Brothers has been bought, passed around, lifted, and it always coincides with them trying to reboot or set straight the DCU. I have noticed that every time they're trying to steer the ship to make a cinematic universe, we're for sale. Who would like us? Come buy us. It's wild, right? So in the article, they were once talking about even if it gets sold, they're not likely to replace James Gunn and Peter Safran. They have something going on right now. It's running. It'd be too much of a hassle to replace them or start again. They're just going to let them run their course. So that's good news. But in the article, they also mentioned the Man of Tomorrow movie as Superman Man of Tomorrow. And then that led a lot of people thinking, oh, did they change the title for Man of Tomorrow? Is it now Superman Man of Tomorrow? And, I wouldn't be surprised if it did get a title change because Superman Legacy was the original title, became Superman. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the original title, became Supergirl. James Gunn decided to name it Superman Man of Tomorrow. Would not surprise me with how often he changes the titles. But that was one of the things he debunked. Someone asked him here. He said, is it true that Man of Tomorrow starts filming in a few weeks? This is the filming one. He said, by strict definition, few, no. But Man of Tomorrow does start filming. James Gunn always with his technicalities. But here he says, is it true that there has been a change in the title? Nope. So the movie is still Man of Tomorrow. And again, it makes more sense because you're supposed to think of who is the Man of Tomorrow. Is it Superman? Is it Lex? Is it Brainiac? And James Gunn even double dipped down saying that it's because it's not a Superman movie. Superman is important, but it's not just a Superman movie. It feels more like an event film. Then this was a rumor we had heard about that the Paradise Lost, the Wonder Woman HBO show, the prequel, was canceled. James Gunn here responded to that. Is it true that Paradise Lost has been shelved? Definitely not. Jesus, I get on Threads for the first time in a few weeks, and it's just one insanely wrong thing after another. What is going on? James is pissed with us, man. James does not like us today. But the biggest one going around that I kind of want to talk a little bit about because I feel like there might be some sort of truth to it. Pardon me. Excuse-moi. There was a rumor that was going around. It was a report by Daniel RPK, but admittedly, Daniel RPK, as soon as the report came out, said, that's not exactly what I said. But then again, Daniel, you never clarified what you actually said. I'm not trying to hate on you, Daniel. I know you follow me, buddy, but he just kept responding. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I'm like, okay, well, then what did you say, buddy? Can you give us your sentence of what you meant and what you said? Either way, he was saying that James Gunn was going to put a rush on the Robert Pattinson Batman trilogy, meaning he can finish the second movie that's about to go start shooting in May, and then immediately work on the third Robert Pattinson Batman movie, get that out of the way. That way we can then start DCU Batman, because we don't want two Batman at the same time. Well, James Gunn did respond to this. Here we go. Can you debunk Daniel RPK report of you fast-tracking Batman trilogy for DCU Batman? I don't know what that is, but I'm not fast-tracking anything other than our scripts currently getting to go into production. And then he said, is it true that we're not getting Brave and the Bold until Matt Reeves finishes his trilogy? Nope. Okay, I like when at least Gunn doesn't beat around the bush. He just straight up. So, real possibility, then we can put that under the rug. And I was thinking maybe that was a possibility. Now, again, if you're not keeping up with the shenanigans of the DCU, some things that we know for sure. James Gunn said he's not going to release a different Batman movie the same year as his Batman. So, right now in May, we have Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves' Batman is going to start filming, and that film is set to come out in 2028. Well, he's not going to release then another Batman movie in the year 2028 because that's when Matt Reeves is coming out with his. So it means the earliest we could get a Batman movie is 2029, which is still kind of insane. Am I getting my dates wrong? No, 2027, sorry. Minus those by one. 2027, the movie comes out. So the earliest we can get DCU Batman, Brave and the Bold, is 2028. Still a long ways away. But I did think maybe he was onto something about like James Gunn was going to rush through the Matt Reeves. But if you know how long Matt Reeves takes to make his script, to get his story down, rushing him would be like taking 6 years and bringing it down to like 3-4 years. And even then, still not possible. Matt Reeves has been very honest about he's just slow. He's slow when he writes a script, and that's the only way he knows how. And you can't blame the guy when he's been producing nothing but peak. Let him take his time. So it's nice to know that Brave and the Bold could still be coming out soon. I'm just still wondering, is James Gunn gonna be at the helm? Because again, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not saying that I think Netflix is gonna want to get rid of him. I totally believe if Netflix gets Warner Brothers, they're keeping things going with DC, and it's gonna take like 2 or 3 bombs before they go, all right, James, get your white hair out of here, man. You don't know what you're doing. And that just hasn't happened yet. So, with that in mind, though, James Gunn's contract only goes to spring of 2027. That 2027 is not when we're getting Brave and the Bold. We still don't have a finished script. We still don't know when that movie's coming out. It's like, so what is going on? How long until we get this film? Because it's so odd how much this feels like a repeat of the early DCU, the DCEU, where we had Man of Steel, then we had the Batman versus Superman movie, and we're like, okay, we're promising to give you a Batman movie, and they promised and promised and promised, and that Ben Affleck Batman movie turned out to be a separate universe Batman movie, not even connected to the DCEU. Is that going to happen again, where it's like, we got the Superman film, we're promised a Batman, we're going to get a Clayface movie and things like that, but the actual Batman will not show up for like 6-8 years. Like, that will be wild. Again, it's not an easy job. It's not hard. I don't blame Gunn. I'm still very much excited for Man of Tomorrow. Excited for Clayface this year. I'm curious when our first appearance of Batman is, what their story direction is, because we're still hearing they might not be going down the route of Damian Wayne. They might not be doing that. They might go and do an origin, or, an origin in the sense like they did with Superman, where it's maybe Batman 5 years in, and we get Dick Grayson Robin instead of, Damian Wayne Robin. We have no idea. So, yeah, you guys let me know what you think about some of these updates. And Santa is real, okay? I lied because I'm an adult and I like to ruin your day, but Santa's real, I promise. He's real to me, dang it. All right, let's move on to the next topic here. Oh, dude, I've been waiting for this one. Okay. Sony woke up just yonder. Well, here, let me restart, because I don't even think I put it for sounds, and I need sounds for this. All right. Sony right now woke up and said this line to themselves one morning. And who did they not forget? Oh, that's right. We got an announcement today here, boys and girls, that Sony is going to be working on an animated Venom movie. Let's talk about it here. So, got to do that every time we play that soundbite. Got to do that. Gonna have a big headache by the end of this, but we're gonna do it. All right. Venom animated movie in the works with Final Destination filmmakers Zach Lepesky and Adam B. Stein. Okay, lot of interesting things going on with this. So, we have heard about a Venom movie in the works for a long time. 2 years ago, it actually got reported that there would be a Venom movie produced by Seth Rogen. That's right. We actually remember hearing this. It said here, Sony developing animated Venom feature. This was that's 2026. Let me go to the original post here. See if it's still up. Oh, did it get deleted? Great. Let's see if we can find an original poster of it. We got it here. Yeah. Venom animated movie reportedly works flowing. Oh, jeez. I'm trying to find the actual reports here, but there we go. Seth Rogen upcoming project caught the eyes of Spider-Man 2 voice actor. Oh, that was Tony Todd. Either way, there was reports going around back in 2024 that Seth Rogen was developing an R-rated Venom movie, and to me that made sense. Like, Seth Rogen has been snatching up these comic book properties and producing really great stuff. We're talking about The Boys, Invincible, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. To me, it makes sense that he wanted something like a Venom. And again, we heard about it 2 years ago. It was right at the end of Venom 3, looking like that was going to be the next chapter in what Sony was wanting to do with the character. But it went dead silent. And, animated movies take time, things happen in the background, and now we got the official update. So it looks like, unfortunately, they didn't end up going with Seth Rogen, but instead they got the filmmakers who just did a Final Destination Bloodlines. And that makes me wonder, okay, then, so are we still going to go down the route of it being an R-rated animated movie? This would be crazy, because one, it's a big IP. Venom, Spider-Man, big IP. They didn't even make the Venom live action movies rated R. They kept them PG-13, but that was also because they were hoping those movies would be good enough that Kevin Feige would allow them to merge with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and that never ended up happening. That's a true story. I think they've said it in interviews. They kept those movies PG-13 so that they could hopefully have a future with Spider-Man, but it didn't end up happening, as you guys know. So grabbing the Final Destination Bloodline directors, okay, that would be wild if they actually go through with it. Now, I have some stipulations and worry, but let's go ahead and read some more details here that we have about the project, because something that kind of caught my eye, it says here, Tom Hardy is understood to be involved in some capacity as well. It is unclear whether he would produce or even return to voice Venom, as well as starring in the studio's recent trio, as Eddie Brock and all that. Now, you guys know, I was not a big fan of the... I just thought they were silly, they were goofy. I was open-minded, don't get me wrong, the design of this... His design was great. I thought he looked good, it was gooey, he was buff, great work, and there were moments it made me laugh, and I thought it was cool, but at the end of it, I just thought these movies, they were just so, like, who laughs at that cringe? I'm letting you sink in the irony of that, okay? Okay, I gotta stop. That's actually hurting my head. But no, I was like, okay, whatever, fine. Let There Be Carnage at least fulfilled something where it's like, I got to see Carnage on the big screen. Should have been R-rated, should have been a lot more bloody and not as humorous, but the fact that we got to see versus Carnage, I thought was like, finally, dude. Like, little me has been begging for that since the days of people photoshopping Jim Carrey as Carnage, and he was going to be part of the Tobey Maguire movies and all that. Like, at least we got that, and I'm grateful for that. But it really became apparent that because Venom never ended up meeting Spider-Man, which even the post-credit scene of Venom 2 had me so hyped for this. Like, even though I didn't like the movies, just the thought of this Venom meeting him, finally getting the white on his chest, something like that happening, I was ecstatic. And it never happened. Like, Sony and Marvel swept it under the rug, and they, in between post-credit scenes, just wrapped up the story. So dumb, right? Okay, so with this now, I'd be so pumped if they actually made a mainstream rated R movie, because all the rated R animated movies we've been getting have been, cover your eyes, ladies and gentlemen, have been Sausage Party. These are the kind of R-rated movies we get, right? Is the things that I'm like, you can't watch with your mama in the bedroom. But let me tell you, I replay those last 10 minutes of Sausage Party every night. But that's all it feels like R-rated movies can be. They're either Sausage Party, they're fixed animated movie, where just a few clips of that movie, and I was like, I don't even know, man. What was the other one? There was the, dude, I have to be careful with this. I'm about to search. With this one, I was like, how? What is this? This was a real, again, it was a Swiss movie. You think it's like AI generated, but it was a real movie. And you're like, is that all R-rated films can be? At least if they actually go down, it would be an R-rated film that would take advantage of things that aren't just, let me show you my... bagooglies, right? It's like it's not just gonna be that. It's gonna be Venom ripping people, tearing limbs, doing what he should have been doing in live action, but it didn't end up happening, right? So with that, I think I'd like to see it rated R, but then that would take away the big thing I'm also asking for. Venom to me, and I know people are going to get on to me about this, Venom to me is just not that interesting unless you have Spider-Man there. Now, I get it. Venom has had his own comic series, he's been his own character. There's tons of history and decades of Venom having solo stories, and there's not just Eddie Brock, there's Agent Venom, Flash Thompson, there's Matt Gargan Venom, which I think we are going to end up getting in the main MCU movies. We'll talk about that in a sec. I get it. But at the end of the day, the things that make Venom such a cool villain for me, such an interesting baddie, is when he's up against Spider-Man, okay? Because it's not just that this goo gives him these abilities. It's also that he steals the abilities from Spider-Man. The goo was on Spider-Man. It then goes back to the host. They have Spider-Man powers. They get the white chest, and they are also imbued with the memory and mind of everything Spider-Man knows and can easily use that against him. He knows everything from Social Security to childhood memories. Like, Venom then becomes such a threat with that much knowledge, right? Not just that, Venom is immune to the spider sense. I would love a villain, even though Tom Holland's Spider-Man has barely made use of his spider sense up until the last couple movies. A villain where his spider sense is useless, that's awesome. I'm just saying, some of that stuff is like so cool to me, and I want to see that done. I do not want to go another trilogy where Venom doesn't get the white on his chest, okay? Sony, you don't put the white on his chest, call me up, I'll put the white on his chest. I need it to happen. I think what could happen is something like in the opening of Spider-Verse. If you guys know, in the opening of Spider-Verse, we had the death of Peter. Was it Peter, just Peter Parker? I think something almost like that, where maybe the movie opens with Spider-Man having already kind of gone through something. He's already worn the symbiote. It's going to Eddie. He's going to jail maybe, and he wants to flip his life around. He's not necessarily a bad guy, but in the context of Spider-Man in his life, Spider-Man is the bad guy of Eddie's life. I think a Venom movie where we see Spider-Man as the villain and him still wanting to be good, this lethal protector, even if his way of protecting isn't all that great, would be kind of awesome. But okay, for those of you who are like, Chris, shut up, you don't know, go pick up Venom comics. You'll see that he's had a long history. Okay, fine. You want to go through 3 movies where they again give us symbiote after symbiote villain? Venom 1, symbiote villain. Venom 2, red symbiote villain. Venom 3, symbiote villain that controls other symbiote beings. I do not want a trilogy of just that again, man. And we need more creativity than that. So that's some of my concerns, but also just thinking about the art style, thinking about what they could do with it, even if it's not rated R. Let's say they go PG-13, mature it up a little bit. I still think that'd be a cool route. That's how animated movies are. I can't think of any PG-13 animated movie. At least do that, right? So you guys let me know what you think and what you thought. I'm still, of course, interested in this. I'm curious about the Tom Hardy involvement. Maybe they'll just get him to voice Venom again, because I don't think he had a bad voice. Eddie, who you're watching, the guy who goes... I'm in charge of another life. I have a baby. And right now I'm spending time away for him to do things like that. I got a really bad headache now. That was way too much, dude. That was not good. That was not good for my mind, dude. My head's going to be pounding like a day after Six Flags. You guys ever had that? Where you were on roller coasters all day, then you lay in bed finally and you feel like you're still on them? Okay. I am interested in it, but those were some of my concerns, some of my thoughts. It's funny how quickly they also announced this too, because there's no writer. It says here, no writer is attached to the project, although Sony's animation arm, Sony Pictures, is opening up a writer's room to develop the script. So, like, they don't even have an idea. So they just announced this with the directors, but they don't even, maybe they have a pitch, but they don't have a story down, which I think is interesting. You guys let me know. One more for the road. Okay, let's move on here. Okay, this crazy theory. Well, is it even a theory? All right, so Steve Rogers. It is no secret now. Steve Rogers is returning for Avengers Doomsday. And look, you guys know there's not me. I'm not one of them. I might get other scoops. I get scoops for Scary Movie 6, not no Avengers Doomsday. But as you guys know, there have been some people that know the story of Avengers Doomsday, have a lot more details, full-on scripts. I am not lucky enough to know about that, but also nor would I want to. I do want to be surprised by some things. Now, there's been this story detail going around that I've heard for a while that did not make sense to me. It might be true, might be false, but it never made sense to me. But I wanted to talk about it because something new with the theory has come up where I can't unsee it. So the theory is that Steve Rogers is actually not living in the main MCU. And instead, Steve is living in the Fantastic Four universe. In fact, let me see if I can pull up the Fantastic Four post-credit scene, because there was something then that I can't unsee from it. And again, that to me didn't make sense, because I'm like, wow, why would Steve just be okay with that? Why would that happen? How does that make sense? Like, again, I'd have to see the movie for context, right? And I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about this post-credit scene, where it showed off the cartoon thing, right? I'm trying to see, or is it? Where is it? Or is it not even in the post-credit scene? It's somewhere. Fantastic Four cartoon intro. All I'm saying is there was a moment in the movie, so it's not the post-credit scene. It's when they're talking about the Fantastic Four life. There is a moment in the movie then where you see people watching the Fantastic Four cartoon, and then the people watching it do look a little suspicious to me. Here it says, the ending of the Fantastic Four First Steps shows a boy watching TV and his father. Could this be Steve Rogers and his girl? Now, this didn't happen in the post-credit scene, because we just saw that. This happened just, I think, in the middle of the movie, not? And so I remember hearing that theory, hearing that Steve Rogers lives, and I'm looking at this photo, and look, I've never given Steve Rogers back shots, but if I did, I would be able to identify that figure, that haircut, that look. That literally looks like Chris Evans from the back. Has like Steve Rogers. I'm thinking like Steve Rogers Avengers 2012. It's given that same haircut, that same look. I'm like, is that not? Wouldn't that be crazy? And that this is his little son all grown up, because that's another thing that we heard about the movie is this in the trailer that came out here. Steve Rogers' kid isn't going to be a baby the whole time. This is going to be like a flashback showing what Steve has been up to since we last saw him. And for the most of the movie, he's going to have a beard. He's going to be older along with his kid. Maybe 4 years have gone on by, 5, 6, who knows? So is this then that? Were we seeing Steve the whole time? And he's actually in the Fantastic Four universe, living with his family peacefully? That would be wild. I don't know if that ends up being the case. Again, I heard that theory and I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would Steve just abandon his universe? Especially if he knows that there's danger or someone coming for him. I feel like he would go towards the danger, into fixing it, not running away from it and hiding, especially putting this other universe in danger if someone's trying to hunt him down, So it seemed odd to me, but then looking at this, I'm like, oh, it says, no, this is cope. I don't know. And again, it's just it's a theory, and I'm using photos from the actual movie. But how crazy would it be if this was real and we actually had Steve Rogers back shots in the Fantastic Four the whole time? I didn't believe it till I saw this frame. I was like, oh my, huh. It could be, it could not be, but again, it doesn't make sense to me. If it does end up happening, we'll find out in the movie. I think like the detail was like, oh, Loki comes and warns Steve, which again, all Steve knows about Loki is how much of a villain, how much of a bad guy he is. Even though we know TVA Loki is a good guy, I don't think Steve would be trusting enough of him to be like, you want to put me in another universe for my safety? All right, let's do it. I mean, can we go somewhere retro futuristic? So we'll see, we'll see. But this shot, man, it was a little compelling. Does that not look like Steve Rogers? You guys let me know. You guys let me know. That definitely, um, definitely was America's. Yeah, see, if he was standing up, I'd be able to tell. America's ass is super recognizable for sure. All right, let's move on here. And that was the final topic we had here. So now it's just you guys to talk about your viewer submitted questions. Have some fun with me. We'll peep in the Reddit real quick because I want to see how horrible my live Andy Dick bunny reaction. I don't even know what that means. Have you seen any of these? I've seen Booksmart. I thought it was funny. I did see Little. I thought it was okay. I wasn't crazy about it. My lady liked it more than me. Oh, dude. Well, I didn't say Ghostface is dressed as Santa. I will say the hat though is plain red, no writing on it. It's just a plain red hat. And yeah, but this one, you got it pretty on point. That's literally kind of what he looks like, even down to the way the mask goes on top of him. That's kind of what the photos look like. Yep. I did pre-order my Leprechaun Steelbook. I am excited to get those. I do need to know though, is there an artist? Because I hate how AI this photo looks, man. I love this cover for the Steelbook. The gold coins making the Leprechaun's face and smile. Beautiful. I'm not a big fan of this art design. I'm hoping it's like, it's an actual artist because it looks a little AI to me, and I hope they didn't do that. But I did pre-order the Steelbook because I love me the Leprechaun movies. Brand new date. Now, there we go. That's a nice fan poster. Brave and the Bold. Yeah, we saw these. We talked about these before. Yet another. Oh, well, I will just not click on it. Well, that actually, I'm not even kidding. That's exactly the mask. Where did you find it? I'm not even kidding. That's exactly the mask. Let's see here. Scary movie. Because you can see a bit of the difference. That's exactly what the mask looks like in all the photos I have. So, see, this is what the mask used to look like, and it felt like it was like latexy, like it was made out of latex and rubbery. But the new one in Scary Movie 6 is like more foamy and still. That's exactly what it looks like. Definitely like on the nose. Look at the way the nose looks here, and now look at the old one. The nose had like more of a connected thing on the old one, but that's exactly what the ghost face mask looks like in all the Scary Movie 6 photos I have. So that's exactly what it is. Where did you find it? I'm curious. Is it on like a Party City website or something? Well, he didn't have any funny faces. All the photos, the mask looked like this. I hope they do like a smile or like a tongue out kind of thing. That'd be interesting. Doofy. Well, he is coming back. I wonder if they're still gonna make him a killer in the old one. Talked about that. Orale. Talked about that. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Party City is gone now. Yeah. Well, Party City I think is still online. I think they still like the physical places, yes, but I think Party City is still a thing like on their website. Because it was so funny. After Party City closed all over my area, I had a Party City sponsorship, but it was just to go to their, yeah, like, they're still a thing, but only on their website. Is there, like, a ghost face? Let me see if maybe they got Scary Movie Ghost Face. No? I don't see it. Scare... No, I don't see it from... If you guys let me know, I'd like to know the link of that, because that's pretty cool. All right, let's go into some of your guys' viewer submitted questions. That's so bright. Oh, there we go, much better. All right. What if Sadie Sink in Spider-Man Brand New Day is playing Jane Wolf and they setting up the story from the comics with the black suit? That was honestly one of my original ideas too. I talked about that on video. I think it's looking obvious now, like she is Jean Grey, especially with us knowing that the Department of Damage Control is rounding up people that with powers, and they specifically cast Tremel Tillman, who's someone of an X-Men villain. And we also know from the leak trailer in December, Sadie Sink's character mentions knowing about Peter's secret of his friends being erased and all that. So it's somebody who can read his mind. I'm thinking it's going to end up being Jean Grey, which is so odd. I never thought they'd introduce Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie. Hey, Chris, if you could choose to remake a movie where you play every character in the cast, which film would you choose? I would choose a movie where it's just a one person location. I would choose, because I'm lazy, I would choose the Ryan Reynolds movie Buried. I don't know if you guys seen that, but it's actually a pretty good movie. The whole movie takes place inside a coffin. Um and you think maybe it gets boring or it's dull, but it's actually pretty riveting. The whole movie is Ryan Reynolds stuck inside this coffin trying to figure a way out, and I like the movie. But out of laziness, that's what I would do. One character, lay down the whole time, and I'm done. Hey, Chris, tomorrow is the 21st anniversary of Avatar The Last Airbender. Can you please do me a favor and keep an eye out for any potential big updates? The Legend of Aang movie is, if we get any. The movie is still set to come out this October. Yeah, it's so crazy that they dumped it on Paramount, man. There's a lot of dedicated Avatar fans, and it just seems like maybe it's just not there anymore. Like, even season 2 of the Netflix show, I feel like just kind of came and went, right? Or I don't see many people talking about it. It's crazy. Scream 7 killers were leaked. Apparently, it's just like 6. I really didn't see it, so I'm clear I cannot wait. Please, no one spoil. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the spoilers. And if I'm being honest with you guys, Scream 7 was spoiled for me months ago. And it not because I was looking for them. You guys know, to me, and again, I hate how people cannot understand what I'm saying. Because when I was talking about Scream in my last side flick, I talked about I hate what Spyglass has done. I hate the Melissa Burr controversy. Definitely was not fair. But I'm not going to let Spyglass ruin my love of Ghostface. And then people were like, oh, you piece of how could you like Scream 7? That's not what I said. I just said that doesn't mean I'm going to stop loving Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, 5, and 6. 7 definitely is tainted for me. And like I said, because of people online, it's been spoiled for me. But I never decided to make a video or talk about it because I know to some people, they don't care about the controversy. They don't care. They just want to see a horror movie of the favorite franchise. And I don't think that makes them evil. There's plenty of really nice people who I've met in the Scream community who just want to see the Scream movie and are also bummed that Melissa Barrera got fired. It's just like, I hate the toxicity with the Scream franchise. Like, this was one of my favorite fandoms to make videos on, to talk about, speculate, be like, could this be the killer, guys? Or what if this is the motive? Or what if they do this interesting thing? Anytime I talk about Scream, positively or negatively, toxic people in the comments, angry people, and it's just like, man, I loved this fandom, and now it's only people fighting with each other. I miss when it was just people excited for the movie, you know? What's Spider-Man Noir coming out? With Spider-Man Noir coming out and the Spider-Punk Spider-Gwen movies being in the works, Sony is learning that they're a lesson and giving us context we want and content we want. Yeah. I would have liked like Noir to be a movie, but I'll take a show. I think it's funny that they're dropping it all in one go because it's just gonna be, you can stream the whole thing in one day. So it's like, okay, maybe it worked out for its best. I think it worked out for Wonder Man. I know people were saying that we should have had a Wonder Man episode. I think that would have actually have hurt it a little bit. It was better that we were able to get it all at once. Spider-Gwen, I'm curious how that movie comes out, if it happens. They've announced a lot of animated movies. Spider-Gwen, Spider-Punk, now this Venom one. So I'm curious if they actually end up getting made or if it's something they just kind of talk about. I normally watch your streams on Saturday morning, so I just wanted to say hi. Can you hit the button? Please, I love hearing that sound. Thank you. I know I don't get the people who hate that sound. I love that sound. It makes me laugh so hard. But I do abuse it sometimes. And thank you for whenever you watch the streams. Grandma died at 88 this week. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Pay some respects. Respect to grandma. I hope she's okay where she is now. Jennifer Tilly confirmed last week will be getting more Chucky films, and still rumors of a secret production because Dorf's convention. Yeah, we talked about that just a second ago. So I hope so, man. If it's happening sooner rather than later, I would love that. I just want to know, is it straight to streaming project? What's the storyline? Is it going to theaters? I'd love to know that. Will you review all? You know what? I think I will. I think I will. It's gonna be again tough, just because I don't know how to like make entertaining a movie that's already meant to be funny. Look how funny this scene is. Look how funny that is. I'll do my best and hopefully they come out right. But yeah, I think I do want to talk about them, especially with how they devolved into being poo-pooey. Because I've never even seen Scary Movie 5. I was so pissed that they got rid of Anna Faris and all the cast members and all that. So I never even watched Scary Movie 5. So I don't even know how bad that one is. Hey, Chris, we're currently making an indie animated FNAF series called Fredbear and Friends Revamped. Want a cameo? Just DM me what to say and I'll send you a voice memo. Thoughts on... Dude, that is crazy to me. Like I said in my review, it's not a great movie. It's pretty typical, but 0% is an exaggeration, buddy. And it's one of the times where I'm like, do not use Rotten Tomatoes to make your definitive decision on when to see a movie, because I think this movie will have an audience. Now, again, I'm not defending it. It is still not a great movie. It is very basic, very average. It's a cat and mouse story, detective trying to find a serial killer, and it's just very, very, it's like if this was your first ever killer, detective versus serial killer movie, you'd be like, oh, that was enjoyable. But it's like done every cliche. It's not that good. But to say 0%, I think isn't it. There's movies way worse than this. This was just nothing special. It was just like, there was nothing out of the ordinary. It was just paint by the numbers. I think it's a huge exaggeration, but again, it's like defending poop, you know? It's like, well, yeah, it was poop, but it didn't smell that bad. I just think that was crazy. A 0%, I was like, I mean, it wasn't great, but a 0? Y'all are mean. Will you release merch? I can help design. I honestly want to figure that out. I can't believe how many of you guys actually messaging me wanting merch for the channel. I'm trying to figure out, and you know what? I'll put this out there because I'm willing to pay you guys for it. I want to figure out not just merch. I really want to have my own little intro. Maybe I need to put it out there bigger on the channel or something. But I'd like to have just like a 3-4 second beginning clip. I'm not saying do what Dead Meat did, but like the way of Dead Meat, where like, you know, Dead Meat has their little like opening thing with their logo. I want to find a graphic designer to do that for the 3C channel, come up with like a small little theme song and just a sound that like as soon as you hear it, you're like, 3C Films, a 3C video. But anytime I hire or I go to those websites to find a graphic designer or someone who makes, they come up with the most papooey thing, and I end up spending hundreds of dollars on something I never post on the channel because it's just not worthy of it. But if a fan who uses not copyrighted music and it's free to use, I will happily buy it from you and make it part of the channel. Because I really want that. I just want like a sound that like, oh, like that's 3C. I want to watch that, you know? But we'll see. Someone said I'll come up with the goon version. Thanks. But yeah, we'll see. I definitely want to work on that. Man, I love you and keep up the good work. Well, I love you too, buddy. I love you too. If Brand New Day is great, where do you think it will rank among the other Tom Holland Spider-Man movies? It's hard to say because I know some of y'all are gonna think for the Toby and Andrew. And last week there was a whole resurgence on Twitter where my friend Soups was getting canceled for his Spider-Man Homecoming opinions, which was honestly very funny because it's like that meme where it's like when a celebrity gets canceled for the thing you've done a million times in your life. So I just kind of stood back and zipped my mouth because I'm like, if he's getting canceled for thinking those things, I don't want to speak my mind. But if you weren't online, Soups was getting pretty beaten up because he once made a video of like 5 reasons why Tom Holland's Spider-Man is terrible. And well, I'm never going to go as far as to say Tom Holland's Spider-Man is terrible. I think each Spider-Man is good in their own way, and there are definitely things I like about Tom Holland's Spider-Man. But admittedly, he is my least favorite. His movies are my least favorite compared to the Andrew and Tobey films. That said, the reason I was bringing this up, my favorite of the trilogy, though, is No Way Home, because that was finally fulfilling a lot of things I was missing out of his Spider-Man. He had, like, because again, remove Tobey and Andrew for the movie, I still think that one is my favorite, because Tom not only has all his abilities, he has his spider sense, and it has a great scene in there. The great power comes great responsibility scene, the consequences he faces in there really is such a loss for Spider-Man. But also like the scenes where he like figures out geometry to defeat Doctor Strange in there. How his tech suit doesn't work because he's lost connection to Stark, and so he has to figure out his own way and be more savvy. Like there's just a lot of things in there where I was like, oh, John Watts, you're cooking here. I'm loving all these decisions that make Peter feel like the Spider-Man I miss, right? And it was one of the reasons, like at the end of No Way Home, I'm ecstatic for Brand New Day because it showed him having broke in an apartment, fending for himself alone, and that's the way I want Spider-Man, right? I need him as depressed as me, because us Spider-Man fans are miserable. So Brand New Day has that potential. It could probably end up being one of my favorites. But let's see here. But yeah, so it has the potential to go up there. But like I said, there's some story things where I'm like, okay, well, how does Punisher fit in? How does the Hulk fit in? Then you have Jean Grey, an X-Men character, introduced into this movie. With the rumors of him getting organic webbing and mutating into Man Spider. I'm like, I just wanted to see the guy be depressed and fight street level villains, But I'm be open minded. I'll be open minded. I'm still very excited for that movie. Hey 3C, you watching Peaky Blinders? No, I haven't. I hear a lot of people like that, and maybe I'd like it too, but no, I've never seen Peaky Blinders. Hey, you peaky fella, don't look at me while I'm changing. Ketchumps sends in $1. Thank you so much. My fave movie theater, the Paris Theater in Harry Hines, got raided last week. I'm sad. Hey, buddy, I don't go there for anything but tacos and the bazaar, because that street corn. You gotta be careful around Harry Hines. If you're around here, you know. West Plano, Webb Chapel, North Park, Grapevine Mills. Rank them best to worst. Early screening at which one is your fave? Man, we're getting a lot of local questions. I'm trying to make this quick. West Plano #1 every day. That is like my preferred theater. I love, especially because that's the Cinemark that's right next to the headquarters. So that one's always spotless, always clean, well stocked, looks good. Love West Plano. Then I'm gonna go, I guess, Webb Chapel, because Webb Chapel is actually my childhood theater. That's the one where I went as a kid to see all the movies with my dad and all that. So that one has just a nostalgia core, but admittedly, that neighborhood is not that great. And then North Park and Grapevine just at the bottom, mainly because they're AMC's. And I'm not trying to be an AMC hater, but AMC in Texas still has, let me show you. AMC in Texas don't be having these nice recliner seats. No. AMC's in Texas still have these cushion fart holding seats that hurt your back, make you uncomfortable. All are filled with dried up Coca-Cola and stains and whatnot. I would be so much more happy with AMC's if they didn't all still have this seating. I can't believe we're in 2026 and this is what your theaters look like, AMC. Get with the program. Which horror game are you more excited for? Halloween or Hellraiser Revival? Oh, that's tough. I think Hellraiser, mainly because it's a story-driven game and there's going to be a campaign to it in that sense. And that's kind of what I've wanted from a lot of the horror games. I get the asymmetrical stuff is fun and playing with your friends, but if a game is gonna like come out and only have a lifespan of a month, like all these games do, whether it's Texas, the only exception is like Friday the 13th game, but games like Texas Chainsaw, Killer Clowns, things like that, well, then just make it a story campaign. At least it'll be memorable. Tell me a movie in the form of a video game, the way you do like a Last of Us, the way you do an Uncharted, and something like that. So Hellraiser Revival, I would say I'm slightly more excited for. I don't know how I'm gonna do the content for that on the channel because there's just tons of begoogly, naked, gory graphic stuff. That video's demonetized before I hit upload. So I do got to figure out how to do that. But Halloween game, I am pumped for. I like the mode they're gonna have where you can just be Michael Myers and randomly kill people in Haddonfield. That seems like fun. Uh, wrong actor director for a project. Ooh, wrong actor director for a project. Man, I mean, where do I even begin? I don't. I mean, we could go anywhere with this. Where would we? What? No, that would be too much. That'd be too much right off the gate. Because I know I get a lot of flack for it. I think James Gunn brought a lot to it. No, I'm not gonna say James Gunn's Superman. There's a part of me that was about to, but it's like no. There's just so much I do like about it that he still brought what we needed. But man, I still wonder what Matthew Vaughn's Superman would have looked like because he was attached at one point. The Mission Impossible director McQuarrie, I forget his name, but him at one point, like what his Superman movie would have looked like yeah, those for sure. Let me see what the chat is saying in terms of someone's uh definitely you know what? I like them. I really do. But I'm gonna say Rob Zombie for Halloween. Um I like the first one a lot, dude. Like a lot. But then the second one just nosedive for me. It just feels like maybe the wrong one. Christopher McQuarrie, thank you. M. Night Shyamalan, The Last Airbender, perfect one. Perfect one. I don't know why they gave that to M. Night. It should not have been M. Night. Chris Columbus for FNAF, I think would have been good. Nothing against Emma Tammy. I think she did what she could and fans are enjoying it. But Chris Columbus probably would have done something slightly more memorable or palatable for general audiences. Dude, no. Like that's probably one where you are right, but I'm happy with the. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Cat in the Hat. Tom Hooper cats, yeah, probably. Jared Leto, Tron Ares, yes. They should have switched that. They should have Cameron Montague be the Jared Leto character. That would have been so much better. David Gordon Green, Exorcist, yes. Because it felt like they were just taking the Halloween 2018 formula that admittedly David Gordon Green did well and made it successful with Halloween 2018, but you cannot apply that to a demonic possession movie or just copy and paste that for any reboot legacy sequel. So that was definitely one. People love that one, and I'm one of them. I like that first one. I think going the route of showing what a realistic take on Michael Myers with like the upbringing of usual serial killers with bad homes, traumatic childhoods, starting off with hurting animals, like going I think that's a cool idea. I don't think that's as far as like that's like the ultimate universe of Michael Myers, right? It's like as an alternate take, I kind of dug it. But then when we started getting into the white horse stuff in the second movie, I was like, okay, I don't dig it as much. I like Ang Lee. Ang Lee was cooking with Hulk. Those comic book transitions, and I still think Ang Lee's Hulk, the special effects on that hold up. Some parts of the story could have been better, but I think Ang Lee was doing something bold that you just don't see direct. Like, look at this shot, dude. That effect holds up. Does that not look like a real green guy standing in the street? Why don't VFX look like this anymore, dude? That looks good. This is me. Someone said hot take, Chris. That movie's not great. I will admit. Ang Lee's Hulk is not great. Flawed. But I kind of like what he was doing. Last one I'll say, whoever did the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, terrible direction. Just going with literally a remake. And like even just the I think we watched a movie, whatchamacallit, posted a video, and I was like, I forgot how bad that design looked, dude. we watched a movie. Let me see here if I can find his photos. See media. Oh, I was like, that what he, I forgot, dude. Look at that. This is a situation again where it's like, no, this was not the route to go. I get what their idea was behind it. They looked at actual burnt victims and were trying to mimic that. But to me, Robert Englund's nose as Freddy Krueger is kind of a vital part of that face. I'm not saying you needed to get someone that looked like Robert Englund, but dude, that nose is kind of like a threatening, gross part of Freddy Krueger, and it sticks out well. Going with an actual burnt victim, which most burnt victims have their nose burnt off or shrunk down like that because it's mainly cartilage. I don't know, man, dude. That just looks like a sick puppy, if I'm being honest, dude. I was just like, ugh. Yeah. Let's move on here. You think Venom will be in the MCU? Yes. In fact, here I saved these bookmarks. I don't know anything. Again, I don't. I definitely think this is the route they're going down with. While Sony works on Eddie Brock Venom, I'm thinking like this fan right here did a Photoshop. I photoshopped Scorpion, which again, props to you just for photoshopping. Everybody just does AI now. I photoshopped Scorpion from Spider-Man Brand New Day as Matt Gargan Venom. I think that's what they're going to go with. I think Matt Gargan is going to end up becoming the Venom in the new trilogy. And he has become Venom in the comics. Here we have his version of it. I don't mind it. Yes, I would have liked an Eddie Brock and all that, but so many people have that synonymous, and Sony is treating Eddie Brock now more like a good guy than a bad guy. So this way, and remember, the actor was teasing all this on his Instagram. He posted this photo. Yeah, there we go. There on his Instagram, Michael Mando. He was not being shy about it. He posted this and another photo, this one, of his Scorpion getting the symbiote. Like it's not even a secret, dude. This dude is turning into Venom. I don't know if in this movie or if in like the post-credit scene. And I wouldn't even be mad if the symbiote stays on with the tail and we have that going on. I'd be down. So I like it just again for the idea that we would have a criminal who is obsessed with wanting to take down Spider-Man. He gets this advantage, especially if the symbiote was on Tom Holland first. Then Matt Gargan gets it, can use all the stuff he knows about him against him. I'd love to see it. So yeah, I think we are going to get Venom, and it'll be this version, but probably not till Spider-Man 5, maybe 6. Have you seen Summer 84? Where would you rank? I think it's a great movie. I think it's a nice throwback, solid film. I think it loses a bit of steam towards the end, but I liked it. I thought it was good. Someone said F that, and people don't want it. People don't want him as a Scorpion. I mean, it doesn't have to be that exact design, but I would not mind the tail sticking on as he becomes Venom. Nah, buddy, Springtrap did it better. He's still relevant. What did you just say to me? Oh boy, I'm gonna get you. The Strangers Chapter 3 is one of my favorite horror movies this year so far. If I could lock you up for that opinion, I would, buddy. No, I'm glad you liked it, Elio. I'm glad you liked it. Thoughts on the merch revealed at Toy Fair, like Mario Galaxy, Masters of the Universe, Mattel? Let me see. Let me see some of the Toy Fair stuff. Toy Fair. I mean, I did a little video on the on shorts and all that kind of stuff. There's a good. It's always fun to see what's new and inventive. I do like this Yoshi toy where you can literally hatch Yoshi out of an egg, and it's a one-time use. So you buy the egg, he hatches out of it, and then once he's hatched out, you throw that egg away. You're done. I think that's kind of cool. All this other stuff, yeah, like I like that. I talked about some of my favorite reveals in my YouTube short. You guys can look that up there. But good stuff, dude. It's just definitely like I have to pick and choose what I buy now. So much clutter. What is your gym routine? I want to get buff and handsome like you. Oh, buddy, you're funny. I ain't got my gym routine is imagining going to the gym one day and looking ultra sexy, but never having the determination to actually do it. But I like imagining it. Live 16, waiting for a 3C short film. Which movies are worth watching in March? How do you think the Epps files will affect Hollywood and movies? Bro, I don't even. I wish they'd actually make some sort of damage and they'd actually get the people who are in those. Um, but you never know, dude. I don't even know what to tell you about that because I'll be honest with you, that stuff just makes me so depressed. So I don't even look into it. So I don't know who is exactly in them. But as far as movies worth watching in March, let's see, March movies 2026. Let's see what's in there. We got Hoppers and Hail Mary, which they just announced a popcorn bucket for Hail Mary. It's the whatchamacallit, the helmet, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see what else we got. That's February. March is here. Okay. Definitely Hoppers. Hoppers top. The Bride, I'm curious about. War Machine, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to end up watching, even though it's probably not going to be good. The Alan Ritchson movie, where it's Terminator meets Predator, of a bunch of army soldiers finding this like robotic thing in the woods that's trying to kill them. Honestly, feels like a dumb fun movie to watch. Protector, Dolly for worse. Slanted. Well, slanted sounded no. This movie is crazy to me. Have you guys seen this movie? It's The Substance meets Get Out. I'm like, who approved this movie? If you guys don't know, Slanted is a movie starring McKenna Grace, uh, and it's about an Asian girl who wants to, I guess, be beautiful, be loved. So she takes a serum and becomes a white girl, but not just any white girl, McKenna Grace white girl. Huh? I don't. That's a crazy one. It's literally so yeah. It's The Substance meets Get Out for white women. That's such a weird. When I saw that, I had to do a double take. I'm like, what? Body Cam looked a little interesting. It's just like a horror movie through the perspective of cop cameras. Project Hail Mary, of course. Oh yeah, Ready or Not 2, I want to see. I think for me, those are the ones. Everything else, it's either I haven't heard of or I'm no interest in. Let's see here. With the DCU's original slate of movies looking unclear, what movies do you think will happen and what projects will replace the other? It is kind of funny because I'm like, I've been waiting for the Booster Gold show. I really wanted Booster Gold, and I thought that was going to end up happening, but that doesn't look like it. Waller doesn't look like it'll happen. A lot of movies that were announced as part of that first James Gunn slate just aren't happening. It's really a toss-up. I think we're definitely getting the Man of Tomorrow movie. That's for sure. We got Supergirl coming out. That's good. Clayface. Um, but the next movie after that, dude, is I think James Gunn has a new plan and he doesn't want to share it because of how much the last plan changed and things got moved around. But if I had to guess, I'm gonna go with a Wonder Woman movie as like the next thing, and then maybe Brave and the Bold. Have you seen Wuthering Heights? No, that was one I didn't get a chance to see. Honestly, probably not with the way I'm hearing about the movie, but happy for those who were interested and went to see it. Can I get a birthday shout out? Here you go, buddy. Happy birthday, my friend. Did you watch? See, that's the one I want to watch, but I haven't been able to go out to the theater to go see it. Good Luck, Don't Die. Would online school for a bachelor's cost 7,000-8,000 worth doing and getting? I mean, yeah, if you can actually use it, don't get. I'm not a professional in like getting a degree and stuff because you're talking to a college dropout here. But I mean, if you're getting anything that costs you, it has to be something specialized. So if you're just doing something general like a business or finance, it's too broad, too general, and maybe you will just get a slight pay raise in something else. But if you're going for like I don't know, radiology technician, I'm trying to anesthesiologist or something like that. Yeah, it's worth it if it's specialized and you need a piece of paper that says I did this. But yeah, I'm not the best for it. Definitely though, you need it. Time wise, how long will it take for you to put the Venom in Venom? When does the Venom movie mean? What does the Venom movie mean for Marvel Spider-Man? To me, it just means the animated Venom movie is going to have Eddie Brock, and then MCU Spider-Man movie is going to have Matt Gargan. There we go. Just the same way, like, if we thought Robert Pattinson's Batman was going to have a Robin, he would have had Dick Grayson, and then James Gunn would have Damian Wayne Robin. What advice do you have for YouTubers who want to talk about movies, but except doing short form? Then on YouTube, then you have to talk about relevant things. So while you could do like a video essay on like Boss Baby, which the video animated movies do get very good views, especially video essays in the beginning to look for an audience, and then you don't want to do short form, then you have to talk about the relevant thing that week. So let's say this week or this past week, a video on Wuthering Heights, not just Wuthering Heights movie review. That's going to flop. It has to be something about why Wuthering Heights is hated or the controversy with Wuthering Heights. Something specific in that, because there's going to be a lot of people went to go see it in theaters, talking about it right now, going to search online, and the algorithm will feed them Wuthering Heights videos. So that's my advice for a movie person is, fine, you don't want to do the short form and you just want to make straight up long form YouTube videos, then talk about what is being searched and discussed right now. So most recently, what's the thing? Like the Spider-Man leaks? Well, then do a video on that, but don't just title it Spider-Man Brand New Day Leaks. Find your angle. Find your way to discuss that so that when it pops up in the algorithm of somebody who just watches Spider-Man videos, it's interesting enough for people to click on. Yo, what's up, 3C? I've been watching you ever since I was 9 years old. Whoa, I'm a sophomore now, and it's so awesome to see how much you've grown and that your content is still reliable. Well, that's nice to hear. Still reliable. I haven't grifted yet, but one day I will. The Muppets went woke. Comment down below and make sure you buy my merch. Take care, brother. Hey, Chris, hope you're doing well. Have you ever seen anything? Oh, yes. I've seen plenty of Ben 10. I saw the original series. I saw the Cartoon Network live action movies. I saw when Ben 10 was a teenager, and then that's when I fell off on Ben 10, and I didn't watch the other two series. The reboots or whatever you want to call them, Ben 10, because at that point I had grown up and cartoons weren't for me anymore. So I saw all of the original, love it to death, thought it was awesome. I saw most of Alien Force. I guess then I did see Ultimate Alien as well, and then I never saw this version, or there's a game show, or this version. So these last two I never saw. But yeah, I love Ben 10, and I'm like, Warner Brothers, you are sitting on a pile of cash, dude. You make a good Ben 10 movie, it's not just going to be the old generation fart heads like me. The new kids will love Ben 10, dude. It's such a great hero. Just a kid with a watch. Going hero. Ah! Good stuff. I was about to say I turned in. No, I'm not going to say it. Okay. Will Sony Animation be involved since they are doing the other Spider-Verse spin-offs? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like it'll be the same creative heads who were behind. It doesn't look like it's going to be Phil Lord and Chris Miller who do the Sony Miles movies. It'll be different creative people involved, and they'll just hire different animators, but it'll still all be done under Sony Animation. The R-rated Venom movie should be a modern version of Spawn. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Leave Venom alone, Unc. I know people like those, but if you like them and they're fun, I get you. They're enjoyable for some people. DC X Sonic comic sequel comic has been announced. Awesome. That should be cool. But DC has done a lot. I still need to catch up on their DC and Monsterverse, where King Kong got the Green Lantern ring. It was dope. It's not Steve Cap from the back. It's Simple Jack. Oh. I was about to say Thunderbolts reference. What was it? Tropic Thunder reference. They should make a Venom into the Venomverse. Venom. Honestly, they might do something like that, because they did set up at Tom Hardy's Venom. There's a hive mind. They're all connected. It might genuinely be a Venomverse movie. Could be. What's your main theory as to what's happening in Avengers Doomsday? I really don't like the idea that it's like Steve Rogers' fault because of what he did going back and starting a family, that there's now all of a sudden the multiverse is collapsing. I hope it's something more than that, but I do like the idea that okay, the multiverse is collapsing. Doctor Doom is aware of it, wants to stop it. He sees himself as the good guy, but he also doesn't trust the Fantastic Four because just 4 years ago they chose their little baby over the planet, so Doom doesn't see them as reliable, dependable heroes, loses respect for them in that sense. And he's like, I'll do things the harsh way, even if it means losing everything. Um, and then they're just rounding up heroes and the multiverse and creating this army. I like that idea. Any theory about Beyond the Spider-Verse and thoughts of Captain Durag? Captain Durag? Is that a guy? Captain Durag. Captain Durag. I've never heard of Captain Durag. This is a real dude. Captain Durag. Captain Durag sparks fierce. During Black History Month, Disney? What? Extremely disrespectful. What? Oh man, I don't know. Am I gonna get canceled for laughing? How did that get through a board meeting of people going, Black superhero? Well, they do wear do rags. Is there something, Captain Do Rag? Get this man a raise. Let's do it. Start it. That is insane. Okay, well, thank you for that laugh. I had never heard about this until today. Disney's Captain Durag hit with online backlash. Creators respond. I gotta read their response. What is their response? Y'all don't like durags? What's wrong with durags? Okay. I gotta read the response. What's the response on the show? Okay. I created the character Durag Man, known as Captain Durag, on the Disney show Hey AJ, and I'm just finding out people are finding it problematic. I just wanted our culture to have a superhero of its own. Okay, so it sounds like he is black, so I mean he did it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this would be something that would happen in like a scary movie. Like if they did superhero movie 2 and it was the Wayans brothers, Captain Durag would show up, would he not? Oh, that's crazy. That's insane. Well, thanks for the laugh. I really had not heard about it until right now. Any Just Dance 3C lore? Ooh, I am a Just Dance hater. Okay. For those of you who don't know, Just Dance. I don't know what it is. Just Dance is like, I hate this game. I hate it. It's never made sense to me, and I feel like such a party pooper. I've played it, of course, but I think it's because I had cousins growing up, female cousins, and sisters too. And dude, little girls, they eat up these games. And as a little boy who just wants to play Sonic or wants to play Mario or Crash Bandicoot, and they're hogging up the console playing, it's the new Katy Perry song. It's really got me going. Okay, it was one thing when it was the Just Dance pad. Okay, it's like I could forgive you. I had one of these in my house. Okay, I could forgive you with this because it's like, okay, that's cool. You get to step in, you get to step out, right? You step. It's like, okay, there's button mashing to it, there's work to it. Okay, where it really started to piss me off is when it became a Wii remote. When it just became a thing you hold, but it gave you such elaborate, crazy dance moves. I sat back at 12 years old seeing Just Dance happen and going, how'd that thing know you twirled and spun around right now? This don't have the capacity. This thing, you could just be shaking the remote and it would say, good job, nice hit, way to go, keep it up, good stuff. And all I'm doing is, but no, it's expecting me to be like, just dance, gonna be okay. Da 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 da, but just dance. Get out of my house, throw it away. and put on Super Smash Bros. Thank you very much. I'm done. So I'm not a big fan of Just Dance. And you know, I say it because I thought I escaped it in adulthood. I thought I finally was free of this. And then my wife grew up a fan. So when we got a Nintendo Switch, guess what game I had to purchase and play? I hate all of this, man. I'm sorry. I'm a party pooper, but this is my reality. This is my reality. There you go. Just Dance. I hate it. Now, Kids Bop. That's an art form. Can't Stop Goonin' to the Stream. Please rank all Stanley Kubrick films. I don't think I've seen many of them. Let's see. Full Metal Jacket I love. Eyes Wide Shut, yes. 2001 Space Odyssey. Okay. Just looking at these right here. So I've never seen Doctor Strangelove or Barry Lyndon. Clockwork Orange, yes. Okay, number one. I think I'm going to go Eyes Wide Shut. That one was just crazy. That was like, oh yeah, Illuminati real. Full Metal Jacket like made me never want to sign up for the army. I was like, yeah, not doing it. No, this is good. I'm not going to the army, pops. No, thank you for your service. But actually, thank you for your service. Clockwork Orange. Oh, actually, no. So I think Space Odyssey number one. How did I just Odyssey number one? Eyes Wide Shut. Full Metal Jacket. Clockwork Orange. And The Shining. Again, I don't hate all these movies are good and understandable why he's considered a visionary director. I just wish I loved The Shining as much as other people. I watch it and I go, I like it, but I don't love it. I like Dr. Sleep a lot more, believe it or not. To me, Dr. Sleep made everything about The Shining kind of click in a way where I was like, oh, this is actually kind of fascinating. Just me. Oh, watch the video with John Campea. Okay. What did John Campea rap battle me? Let's see. 3C new intro. Oh, I like this. As long as you didn't make it with AI, buddy. A little bit more color though, but we'll see. We'll see what this is. Oh, you know what? I like that. The sound. That might be. You're gonna have to tell me where you got that sound and if it's up for use. But I like that. That's not bad. But I got a horror one already. But I kind of like that. Y'all like that jingle? I kind of like that. We might have to talk a little bit. What's the Campea video? Oh yeah, I've seen this video. I saw you guys posted it. It's John Campea talking about why he doesn't do trailer reactions. Wait for it. Whoa, let's back that up, Campea. What was that? Look closely at John Campea's. Y'all can't hear? Oh man, sorry. I thought y'all could hear. Share screen. There you go.
What? Like that's we'll watch trailer reactions to see what? Oh
my god. Gambia, man. He's a funny fella. Pennywise and Vecna need to be in Scary Movie 6. I hope Pennywise does. I think a Stranger Things reference in there would be funny. It's okay if it's not Vecna, but Stranger Things in general would be funny. Maybe just like what would be hilarious is, you know how in the scary movies they always have someone getting hit by a car? It'd be funny if they're driving down the street and there's just a group of kids on their bikes, Stranger Things, and a car just hits them all. Well, that was weird. I don't know, Sydney. I've seen Stranger Things.
Say that again?
Hire me, Wayans Brothers. Rank the upcoming TV releases from which you'll be most excited to in your opinion. Also excitement. Which will be best to Okay, so ranking them in terms of what I think will be the quality of them. Okay, I'll do that. In terms of the quality, bottom. Dang, this is hard. All right, I'm going to go Daredevil Season 2. Not because I have lost faith in it, but I think I'm just a little bit more excited for all these other projects. So if that's the one that ends up being the worst one, I will be okay with it. I did like Born Again a lot, though. Then I'm going to go Noir, just because I'm kind of fearful of how they're handling the not as dark tone. Maybe I'm also wondering, why are they just dropping them all at once? You know, the marketing of it took a while to get started. Okay. Then I'll go Boys Season 5 and Invincible Season 4. Have you seen, Absolute Green Arrow? I haven't seen Absolute Poison Ivy. What does she look like? Absolute Poison Ivy. What's she look like? Oh! I still would. That's not bad. That's pretty creepy. But I am. That's pretty good. It's different. Absolute Green Arrow looks crazy. Did you see Good Luck? No, I still need to. You the GOAT. Been watching since Chucky 2019. I designed to. Oh, hey. Send it my way. DM me. We work some out. I need multiple designs. So my favorite scene in No Way Home is where Goblin says, Can Spider-Man come out to play? He knows who I am. He knows where I goon. Crazy. AMC refused to show a fully AI-generated film on the big screen. AMC win. I mean, they were going to at first, just deciding not to. I don't know if it's that big of a win. But yes, glad they're not doing the AI films. It's sad how a fan base can be very toxic to each other and other fandoms. This is why I left the FNAF fan base. I love the FNAF, but the fan base was very toxic. I think that's interesting that you say that, because, like, admittedly, I'm never deep into the FNAF fan base. But to me, in the past, with my content, anytime I make FNAF, I have gotten always nice comments. And especially even when I get stuff wrong, or I'll missay something, or I'll get a piece of the lore wrong, which is complicated FNAF lore. I think the fans have always been nice to correct me or to point me in a direction of, like, stuff to where I don't feel like, sometimes, you know me, I mispronounce names, I say things wrong, or I mess things up, and I'll get pretty brutal comments of being like, you idiot. But FNAF fans in the past, for me, they've been very nice and always kind in the video, so I'm grateful of that. But then again, I don't get deep into the trenches of, like, the FNAF Reddit pages or the FNAF breakdown lore videos all that much. Just the surface level stuff. They've been pretty good, but yeah, Scream right now is in such a toxic, horrible place. Would you like to see Kristen Wiig return as Lola Bunny? Oh yeah, she was a good voice. I think she'd be great for it, and I think that version of her is a really funny one. This, like, exaggerated, dumb, but still smart in her own way kind of vibe. I like that. Creating a Cobra Kai film tackles mental health. Well, that's not bad. Good luck with that, buddy. Did you know a new Stargate series was greenlit? Oh, I don't think I am even familiar with Stargate. Let's see. Did I ever see the original? Let's see. Look at that. I don't think I've ever actually seen the original Stargate. Is that something worth watching? Sorry, my friend, but that's cool. That's nice. Hope that's good, man. I was more of a, what was that one? Star Troopers. I've got one off Chucky movie idea called Rise of Chucky. Would take place entirely on an airplane set between Seed and Curse. Do you have an idea? I mean, honestly, I like where you're headed in terms of ever since they introduced the power that Chucky can like bring to life multiple dolls. I think the best way to do it without like getting rid of all the lore that some fans are hold on to and stuck with, best thing to do is just follow the story of one random Chucky doll going to finish a loose end that Chucky's been wanting to for a long time. Whether that's again because we found out in Curse of Chucky, which I love, that Chucky has this like compulsion disorder where he has to complete a kill. Where if there was a victim out there that got away, Chucky wants to finish the job and find them. I love that idea they threw in there. So maybe Chucky brings to life a doll, says, "Hey, this guy got away," and we have a story with that. So you don't have to be so connected into the lore, but it still doesn't take away from everything. It's just kind of like a one-off story that anyone who hasn't caught up, or anyone who is caught up can get into. You know, something like that. I loved Curse. I agree. Curse was so good. If you are to make a movie, what genre? Well, horror. I mean, come on. It's gonna be horror. But I do think I saw someone tweet the other day, or today, I think it was, where it's like it's true because I don't know why I had the urge. We were my lady and I, we were just chilling in the morning, needed something to watch, and with the recent Sonic news, I got to thinking about the movie Speed. Because if you remember the Keanu Reeves movie Speed, it got referenced in the first Sonic movie, like pop quiz, hot shot. And I mentioned it to my lady. I was like, "Oh, that's a good movie. I haven't seen that in forever." And she's like, "Oh, I've never seen it." I was like, "Oh, well, then you're watching Speed right now." And I'm watching Speed, and it's not. It's flawed, and it's definitely written for the time. But I miss those kind of those action movies where it's just like it was action first, some comedy in there, but it was a thriller. Because someone brought up, it's like I miss when action movies were action movies and comedy movies were comedy movies, and things weren't always action comedy. And it's true, it's just we don't get that. If you want an action movie, it has to be a superhero movie or an IP movie, or it's not getting made. If it's not Marvel or Terminator, Star Trek, or something like that, it's just not happening. And it's like, yeah, I miss the days of a things like a Speed, of a things like a Point Break, of just like a just a fun action movie where like Wrecking Crew is a great example. Fun film, enjoyable, but that's an action comedy. It's an action movie as much as it is a comedy as well. I miss the days where it's just like a straight up action film, you know? Die Hard, bro. Great. Yeah, good point too. Oh, did I skip one? Sorry. Chris, keep up the awesome quality content. For your listening pleasure and consideration, I produce a 3C theme. Head over to SoundCloud and search. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna screenshot this and I'm gonna look into it afterwards. I'm on the hunt. If you are a music producer and make little jingles, I will buy it off of you, man. If I like what I hear. What are your thoughts on the MJ biopic? I'm very excited for it. Yeah, I want to see it. Like as a kid, I was a little obsessed with Michael Jackson. His life to me was so interesting. I went through that phase of like going through all his music videos, watching documentaries, and then as I grew up, all the controversy came, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's weird." But I think his life as a movie is so fascinating, especially with like how he got famous, how his dad raised him, and all that. So from a movie standpoint, I'm curious to see it, and I'm even curious for part two, where they tackle and how they explore all the allegations and how they paint the picture. If they're it's made by his family, so they're most likely going to go the innocent route, but maybe they'll be, I don't know, strong enough to be ambiguous with it or things like I don't know. But I am very curious for it, and plus Michael Jackson music is good. I posted something on the Reddit. Oh, okay. I will check it out, buddy. Do you agree that MCU Spidey doesn't have any iconic theme songs like Toby and Andrew does? No. I think the Michael Giacchino score is really good. I like the Michael Giacchino score in Far From Home. Dun, 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 dun. Admittedly, it's an updated version of an already classic Spider-Man theme, but I like it. And if I heard it on the street, I'd automatically go, "Oh, Tom Holland Spider-Man." Just like if I heard the what was it, Danny Elfman for Toby, or I don't know the name of the Andrew Garfield ones, but those are also memorable. So yeah, I think he's got some. Let's see here. Do you think you can check out my channel and tell me what you think? Big fan, love 3C, real space. I'll do it real quick, buddy, real quick. Real. That's not a bad name though. Real space. Real space. -13P, or is that a Q? All right, all right. We definitely need to work on the thumbnail game a little bit. Like definitely like this text, it needs a shadow, it needs an outline, so the text sticks out better. I'll click on a quick video.
Some Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer leaks, and without wasting your time, let's get into it.
That's nice that
These
you got the
leaks come
text
from
there.
a source trusted by our GOAT 3C Films,
Oh,
and who's been
nice.
reliable.
Okay, well then I'm giving you 10 stars. You definitely got the editing down for choppiness and stuff like that, so that's good. I will say with the way you're doing this, you'd have better luck with short form. Did you post it short? Yes, easy. You got 1,000 on that, 1,000 on there. You're definitely getting a little bit more exposure. I'd say kind of focus on making these videos for short form over long form, because I mean either way they're a minute long, and I believe with YouTube it's like under 3 minutes or something. But you definitely got the editing style, buddy. Got a good voice too. I asked what horror movies to watch a while back, horror noob, but watched all Terrifier, Smile movies, and now I'm starting Scream, like you said. Okay, good. Well, I hope you enjoy it, man. Stay away from spoilers for those movies, because definitely think they're much more enjoyable when you don't know the kills. But good stuff, good stuff. They Will Kill You looks fun. You should. Oh yeah, we talked about it. I brought it up on the channel in the side flick. I like the idea of the movie. It looks fun. It's a woman who gets hired as a maid for a hotel, but when she gets there, she realizes, oh, she's supposed to be sacrificed because the hotel is for Satan worshipers, and it's her just killing her way through the hotel. It does look very fun, enjoyable. 3C cameo in my Cobra Kai film. Ideas for the film. I want to be what's his name? Viper's cousin who uses Ozempic. What if Jumba Jones pulls up in Doomsday? Who the heck is Jumba Jones? Oh, from Lilo and Stitch. Well, he better have the Russian accent, not sound like Zach Galifianakis. What game do you want to see in a movie? Goo Goo Gaga? What game do you want to see into a movie? I think Mega Man could be fun. I preach for Crash Bandicoot. Aside from that, let's see. Portal, dude. I would love a Portal movie. If they can make Portal into a film, that would be so fun. Make it like Saw, but sci-fi. Would a more adult Ben 10 movie work? More mature, violent? I mean, it could, but I mean, I think you're fine to start off with him. His name's Ben 10. You want to start off with a 10-year-old. It could work, and then, you know, as the movies go on, yeah, you can make him older and do like darker versions or slightly more mature. What is your favorite Fortnite skin? As of right now, believe it or not, the Nike Man swoosh. I think that's an underrated costume, dude. The Nike Man swoosh. That dude is pretty cool. They added Nike. It's Nike Swoosh Man, I think is what it is. There was in the 90s, Nike made this superhero. He only lasted a couple of months because then Nike ran into like financial trouble, so they couldn't keep producing the suits and whatnot. But they, they got the designer from the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, so that's why it has like that resemblance. I think it's like kind of a fire looking suit, if I'm being honest with you. Like I don't know, I kind of like it. So right now I'm rocking this in Fortnite with my friend. I thought it was a cool one. But aside from that, the Marty McFly suit. Let's see here. I'm gonna start my own channel, 40 Films. Please don't sue. No, I won't sue. I pass the torch to you. Which Spidey villain would you want to be in a movie? Honestly, a Rhino, dude. I know we got Paul Giamatti's and TASM 2, but a full movie with a Rhino, with a guy in a suit, not a guy mutated like in Kraven. Kraven the Hunter also, just like a Kraven movie would be so well done. I can't believe they messed that up. Other than that, though, I just want to see a Venom. It's been a long time. I want to see a Venom, so that's why I'm like, I'm fine with Matt Gargan. Can you tell my little brother Aaron happy birthday? Hey, Aaron. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. Be good. If you could if you could have literally any film made, infinite budget, what would it be, and who would star, write, and direct? Nightmare on Elm Street. Then I'm going Nightmare on Elm Street. Who would write it? Ooh, I mean, I try to convince Ryan Coogler or Jordan Peele right now because I like their writing style. Who would star in it though? Ooh, geez, Louise. Try to think who would be like who's got a good face. Kyle Gallner was already in Nightmare on Elm Street, but I want to go someone underrated. You know what? I'm gonna go with the guy in Weapons who was the druggie. He was so good in that. I feel like he'd be great. Michael B. Jordan. Can we talk about They Follow news, please? Dude, I'm still shocked. This movie is not out, not filmed, not done anything. The last piece of news we got was from the actress. I forget her name. Micah Monroe, is it? Let's see. It Follows. Yeah, Micah Monroe. She said in an interview, she was like, "Oh yeah, they got a story down. They're slowly working on it, and I think we should be going on something soon." That's all we got. So they announced this movie like, oh my goodness, like 2 years ago now. And the last update we got was in October, dude. It says Micah Monroe has an update on the movie. She just says the script is so good. I absolutely think the movie should get made because I think the fans will be really happy. I think it's exceptional. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Huh? We'll see. You announced this like almost 3 years ago. Just you should bring back the Buzz Lightyear costume. I might just for Toy Story 5. Can you review the movie Crime 101? I do want to see it, but I kind of right now the one I want to see most if I have time to go to the theater that is in the most recent release, meaning like one I have to watch this week for a movie. It's probably a Good Luck Don't Die, then Crime 101. Back to the Future trilogy will forever be untouched, but who would be your dream director for a reboot, and who would be your honestly Steven Spielberg? I know he was a producer of the original, but he wasn't the director. I think is that one of the movies they like speculate Steven Spielberg did kind of direct, but not really, or is that Poltergeist? It's one of the movies, but just get Steven on there. I think Steven, he still has that whimsy and fun he could bring to it and would probably know how to bring it to life in a way where it'd be movie first and not trying to shove a bunch of pop culture agenda stuff in there, you know? But I would want to, dude. Marty, I don't mind a Tom Holland. Doc, let's not bring Robert Downey Jr. because then that's too much Marvelness. Let's do someone like you know what? I know it's a weird choice, but I loved him so much in Ready Player One. I think he could do it in a different way where it doesn't have to be like what the original Doc Brown was. Yeah, and Steven has worked with him. Mark Rylance. He had such a nice, groovy kind of voice to him. I feel like he'd be an interesting, like maybe a more low key Doc. But I don't know. Timothy Chalamet wouldn't be bad either. Would you like to see Willem Dafoe? I'd be okay with. Would you like to see that real Ghostbuster animated feature in theaters? Sure, but I'm kind of more interested in that Ghostbuster animated movie that they keep talking about. I was like, I want it done, dude, because I'd really like this new generation of people to love Ghostbusters the way I did growing up. But so far with the movies they've made and what they've done, it's just not doing much for the brand. Hopefully that animated movie does bring some love to it. 3C lore. Where did the name 3C come from? Oh, I talk about it all the time, buddy. There's even a clip on the Clips channel. I'll let you look it up. I think it's like the main clip on the Clips channel. If you just go to the homepage, I explain there. But the real quick sum up is the way my review system. I review it based on the casual, the critic, and the cinephile. The 3 C's. So I got 3 butt cheeks, buddy. I'm making a horror movie called Shapeless, man. Sense Within, and was wondering if you would like to do some voice lines. DM me, and I'll DM you back the voice line. What's a movie you refuse to watch ever again? Ooh, that's a good one. It's honestly any movie that has like a graphic grape scene. I know that's like a weird, but it's true, man. I just can't when it's too graphic. I'm just like, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to see a character go through all that again. I'm telling you, I think it was called The Girl Next Door was the one where like as a kid that movie just scarred me. And it was a true story. The Girl Next Door horror movie? Or was yeah, this one, dude. No, dude. I'm not recommending it to you. It was a sad, real story, but dude, that one effed me up, man. I was like, why did I watch that at freaking 10 years old or something, dude? I should not have been seeing that. Someone says Zootopia. I'd watch Zootopia again. That's fine. But things like that. Spit on Your Grave. Yeah, I can't. I was a one-time watch for me. Things like Spit on Your Grave. Trying to think of what other movies though that I'm like, yeah, that was a one-time thing. Maybe like the Human Centipede movies. I actually still like the first one, and I would not mind rewatching the first one. But like the second one, and I couldn't even finish the third one. No grazie. No grazie. I still think the first one is pretty good though. You missed my super chat about AMC. Oh, wasn't no about the AI thing? I think we talked about it. AI AMC, or was there something else? Yeah, we talked about it. I said, yeah, I'm glad they didn't. They were planning to do it, but then because of the backlash, they didn't. I don't know if that gives them a pat in the back. That's like me, like, I'm gonna shoot this puppy. Oh, you guys are mad if I do that? I'm not gonna shoot this puppy. I don't know if that warrants a good on them move. How can I get better at shorts? I'm honestly just better at long form content. Oh, like I said, that was my advice earlier about long form. If you just rather do long form, then do it, but stick to relevant things that people are searching. Because the thing with short form is you can talk about anything, and as long as it's entertaining or you got a good hook, they'll find the audience and you'll wrap them in. If you want to do long form, then you have to talk about things people are searching, or else they're not going to find your video. So you can't talk about why Space Jam was epic, because not very many people every day are searching Space Jam on YouTube. But if I don't know what movie comes out, Scream 7 comes out this weekend, people are gonna look up Scream franchise, Scream recap, Scream history, this and that. So you make a Scream video, and hopefully the algorithm picks it up, and then people find you. Sorry, Chris. My question earlier was, which Spidey villain would you to act as in a movie? Would you act in as a movie? Oh, which Spidey villain? I think I'd make a good Doc Ock. You put the glasses on me, and Peter Parker, and the girlfriend. The power of the sun, the palm of my hands. Brilliant but lazy. I'm Doc Ock. I think it works. Have you seen Wuthering Heights yet? No, sadly, no. I think a modern live-action Jesus movie with the Bible's most fantastical story and elements would make crazy money. Wonder why it hasn't been done. I don't know, but honestly, that's another one. When y'all were asking me what's another movie I'd never watch again, it's probably Passion of the Christ. Dude, I talk all the time about, like, my parents let me watch R-rated stuff way too young. This is one of the times where I was like, I wish they didn't let me watch that too young, dude. Okay, I grew up Catholic. I grew up in a very religious household. I'm not very religious nowadays, mainly because of how harsh they were with the religion as I was growing up. But, and this is me being for real, when I tell you we watched this movie in the living room and I bawled my eyes out like I don't think I've ever cried that hard in my life. I've had relatives die in my life, but I have never cried with such intensity, such ferocity, such emotion with the way I did with this movie. And unfortunately, I think that is also one of the reasons I just don't want to push religion on my kid. Because how were you? It feels so manipulative. It felt so wrong looking back as a kid watching that and being so emotionally hit by a truck, and my parents just sitting there going, "Sí, así es. Te está viendo, te está cuidando. ¿Ya ves lo que hizo para ti? Sí, entonces más te vale que te portas bien." Dude, it was just way too much, man. It was insanity. So that's just one I probably would never watch again because I remember as a kid that was a traumatizing. When do you think Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday full trailer will come out? Spider-Man, dude, that has to come out within like the next month. No way it doesn't come out in the next month. I don't know if it'll come out during CinemaCon because that's just usually a time where they just keep it to themselves. Sometimes they do, and it's becoming more prevalent. As far as Doomsday goes, I don't think that till summer, till like the release of Spider-Man, probably. When Brand New Day comes out, that's probably when they want to put that out. Do you like the cast? Oh yeah. Like I said, it wasn't a name where I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. But I also wasn't like, I don't see it. I was like, okay, that fits. That fits. Have you heard the update? Yes, about James Bond and what they start filming the new X-Men. Yeah, I was surprised. I did see a report going around that they'd start filming X-Men like at the end of this year, and I'm like, that soon? That's crazy. But the rumor for James Bond is Jacob Elordi. Elordi? Elhorny. I like Jacob Elordi. I think he's a really great actor. Elordi, sorry, that's where I say it wrong. Elordi. Yeah, I think he'd be a perfect fit. Just for the stature and the look. I did see some people making fun of it because of how tall he is. And it was like the funniest tweet I saw. It made me laugh so hard because he's 6'5". He's a tall dude. And so if you remember that scene in It Follows, let's see here. There's a scene in It Follows. I think it's like the entity. This scene right here. Someone captioned it, Jacob Elordi's James Bond sneaking up on a henchman. The dude is so massive. How is he going to sneak around as James Bond and go undetected and unseen? He's going to be at a party and everyone's going to be like, look at that tall dude. I saw that and I was like, that's such a hilarious observation. But tall or not, I think sure, I would not mind it. I think that'd be a cool I think that would be a cool choice if it does end up getting picked. Thoughts on Criterion Collection on Disney Plus? Oh, that Criterion Collection's on Disney Plus. Oh, or Creator Collection. Sorry, I saw Criterion. I don't got my glasses on today, guys. Creator Collection. Well, I don't know what the Creator Collection is. I thought you meant the Criterion Collection, but I'll look it up. Creator Collection. Cool. Hello, Chris. Hello, Just Nicholas. Good to see you, my friend. Are you are you the Nicholas I know? If you are, man, how you doing? I'd really like to see Vincent D interact with Spider-Man as the Kingpin one of these days, but it will probably never happen. Dude, yeah, same. It's so weird that there is this legal issue with using Kingpin because it's like Sony has it figured out between Marvel. What's the issue with letting Kingpin be in a Spider-Man movie? And like, don't get me wrong, it's cool that we're gonna get Tombstone, and from the leaks that we've seen, Tombstone looks pretty crazy. But Kingpin would be such a great villain. So it's so weird that there's these issues that they can't get around. What a poorly aged comedy that you still loved. Oh, dude, all of them. I mean, the scary movies, for one. Let's see. Let me just look. Comedies that aged poorly. I mean, even white chicks, because in the opening of that, they impersonate Indian people and they do terrible Indian accents. And I'm like, that's a little far. Let's see. 11 classic movies that have aged poorly. Let's see if we agree with this list. But I mean, every movie does. I don't mind it. Like, I think it's funny now whenever you see Rush Hour on TV, it'll give you a warning. Anytime you see like, okay, Rush Hour TV. And it's just because they have jokes about races and things like that. And I mean, Jackie Chan straight up says the N-word in the first Rush Hour. But yeah, like I was watching Rush Hour one time on TV and then this popped up. We all love our 90s buddy cops, but this movie was created in a different time. FY, certain depictions, language, and humors may seem outdated and at times offensive. I think as long as you realize there's no ill will behind the joke, and it's just trying to be funny, I still watch it. I still laugh. So great that this. Oh, there we go. 11 comedies that age poorly. Well, that's definitely very poor. Let's see this one. Porky, Animal House, definitely, yeah. Because there's a scene I think where like a girl is unconscious and a guy just decides to do his thing, and luckily the girl was okay with it. But it's like I don't know if that flies by. That no, it was Revenge of the Nerds. There we go. It was in Revenge of the Nerds that happened. He was wearing a costume. Dude, Pet Detective probably, dude. Pet Detective probably, but I still love Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Yeah, this one I can't defend. This, dude, that's wild. This is their depiction of an Asian person. That's not a real Asian person. That's a guy in makeup, prosthetics, doing a horrible... Oh, dude, that's fun. That's crazy that flew by. I haven't seen Breakfast at Tiffany's, though. I know it's a classic. The Indiana Jones one gets a lot of hate because of the way they depict this culture and eating monkey brains. That's messed up, but I guess in my headcanon, when I watch that Indiana Jones movie, which I still love, I just think it's a made-up culture. Chasing Amy. I haven't seen that one in a long time. Crash. I remember that one just being okay. Big was definitely wild because dude was a kid in a grown man body sleeping with a girl. But I still like Big, though. I still like that movie. Weird scene for sure. Weird scene. And that's about it. Yeah, so there's definitely tons of things. I think, again, as long as there was no actual ill will, like, I still thought this movie was funny. It's not the best movie. What is it, where Adam Sandler and Kevin James are gay and they get married? I found it funny at the time. Same as, like, what was it, Don't Mess with a Zohan. A lot of crazy stuff in that. When do you think they will recast Spider-Man? I don't think so. I think we're stuck with this. No, I don't want to say stuck like it's a bad thing. I'm okay with it. But I think we're with this universe of Spider-Man for a long time. Because I think once they're ready to phase out Tom Holland, I don't think they're going to another Peter Parker. I think that they're introducing a live-action Miles. When they're ready to say goodbye to Tom Holland or retire him a bit or keep him in the background, I think it's because they're going to put Miles in the forefront and Miles will take over that universe's Spider-Man, and he'll have movies and he'll do things, which I don't hate. I think that's a good way to do it. Just don't kill off Tom Holland's Spider-Man. That's the only thing that always made me not want to see Miles in live action, because his story or his origin was that Peter Parker died and then Miles took over and all this stuff, at least in the Ultimate Universe. But we've kind of gotten away from that, and now in like the PlayStation, Peter and Miles, they kind of coexist. They take turns and things like that. So I think that's probably what they'll end up doing. So we'll probably end up with this Spider-Man universe and not get a new Peter Parker 2040? 2035, maybe? Chris, look at Banshuran Samurai from... What? Look at what? I don't even know what that is, buddy. Banshu... Nothing is Shinra. Okay. Oh, dude. Okay. You think you're funny, huh? Think you're funny, huh? Okay. Mods, eliminate his bloodline. Hey, Chris, would you be able to critique my YouTube shorts? Oh, my goodness. Is this just becoming me becoming the critiquer of critiques? Alex. Nicola 13. I'll do one, buddy. Definitely. Let's get that profile picture changed, buddy, because you're terrifying me. It looks like you're looking into my soul, or like we're in the boys' locker room and we're chilling, we're cool. I took down my shorts to change and you whipped your head really quick, dude. So let's get that changed.
We just got our first official synopsis for Spider-Man Brand New Day. 4 years have gone by since we last caught up with our friend.
Okay, that'll be the first one. I tell you, never put this much text on the screen. Especially if you're going to read it to the audience, do not put this much text on screen, because then it feels like homework. It feels like too much information. I'm trying to enjoy my short form content, be as lazy and that. And so just have, if you're reading a long synopsis like this, then just do what you were doing in terms of the text right here. That's one way to read it, but throwing this much text at me, I don't want to look at it. And see, you have that going for a long time too. So that right there is going to hurt your retention, because during this period where too much text is on screen, people are going to click out of it, buddy. Other than that, you do have good like stuff going on down here, so people aren't just staring at you. I would maybe suggest backing up from the camera just a little bit and making more video over your face. So again, I'm not saying I'm the expert, but if you look at mine, I back up. I have myself just in this 1/3 because the
Venom
bottom
movie
half
that
is
just
more
got announced.
dedicated to viewer stuff, and then yeah. But everything else looks pretty good, dude. Keep it up. Let's change that profile picture though. Just kidding though. You're fine, dude. Is it true or not they going to split Avengers Secret Wars in two? I saw people saying that. Then people brought up a really good point. If they split it up, they'd have to redo Robert Downey Jr.'s contract and how much they paid him, and they'd have to do another major payout if they come back. I would think Secret Wars is a movie that should be split up in two with how big of a story it is, but if they could already wrap it up in two, why not? I think Feige definitely wants to get past these two movies and begin the soft reboot of the MCU and focus on the X-Men, which I don't mind. So let's not prolong it, you know? All right, though. We are done. We are good here. We finished off. It was fun talking with all you. I love your faces so much. Thank you for being here, and well, let's have a great night, great weekend, and stay tuned on the channel for more fun content. Love your faces. Be good out there, y'all.